Alrighty, so welcome to the One Ring. We'll start. Um, you are a band of disparate travelers in classic fantasy style. You have been brought together through your friendship with a notable hobbit thief. He is world famous and actually famous amongst dwarves, men, elves, even rangers know the name Bilbo Baggins. This is the year 2965 of the third age of Middle Earth. So therefore, it is pretty close to 60 years before the One Ring, before the Lord of the Rings is set, or 50 years, whatever.
So Bilbo's had the only hasn't got the ring yet.
No, Bilbo does. Well, Bilbo, the Battle of the Five Armies occurred about 2, 3 years ago.
Okay, right here.
So
So we are just post Hobbit. Right,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
So from a setting
And
perspective,
nobody knows about the ring yet.
that
No,
is
no, no, no.
this.
So he
This
still has it, in fact.
Yes, it is. It is rumored that Bilbo is a surprisingly adept burglar and excellent
It's a lot
scout
of gold
and
at bag end.
yeah,
And very
you know,
youthful for his age.
and very well. Not yet. That's coming.
Hasn't aged yet.
He hasn't
Oh, yeah,
aged
he's
that
only
much yet.
50.
He's
Yeah,
still
good
quite
point.
young. Now he gathers you all together and meets you at the Prancing Pony, which is set in Bree. Um, this is a location of some awareness for all of you. You will have all been there at least once. Um, the the Prancing Pony is currently run by a different Butterbur. It is not run by Barlamain. I can't remember the name of the guy. Actually, I might even have it already put into the NPCs. Did I do that? Bree? Barnabas. Barnabas Butterbur.
Nice.
All right. So, you've all received letters or missives. In one case, in the case of Valandril, delivered by a not a what is it? What are the birds that they use? Thrushes. Feels thrush. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, has delivered a message for you to all gather together. The inn is packed, as it always is, with travellers from various locations. Can I get as each of you enters, and we might start with um, uh, Erwin, since Erwin is the least distance to travel.
Oh, yeah, I live here.
Yeah, you do, Erwin. You're a
Just
local,
go down the
Erwin.
street.
I mean, I don't want
I am a
to
local.
overstate it, but yes, you are a local.
All right, so what's the mechanics here? 2d10, d20?
All automated by the VTT.
Oh, that's even easier. All right,
but
so.
it's a complicated system of a single D12 plus D6s.
Oh, I see. All right, what do we got?
The target number.
Okay, so what am I rolling? Sorry,
You're
what
not
am I
rolling
clicking
anything.
on?
I'm asking you to introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. To the crew of my friends that already know.
Well, they don't know
They're
you.
not here yet.
You've all been brought together by
sorry,
Bilbo
I thought you were
Baggins.
This
saying
hobbit's drunk.
You are unaware of each other. Now you are some distant relation on the.
I'm so sorry. At the first part, you were talking about standards. Yeah.
Of
hey, fellas, how you going? Name's Ewan. If you came here easily, it's because I keep the woods safe. That's kind of what I do in my spare time. I also haven't quite established what accent I have yet, but we'll get to that.
Go on.
Depends how much I've been drinking. I've got my trusty sword, pat pat. My trusty shield, pat pat. And another surprise for anyone who crosses our path. But I'll be able to keep you guided on the path, whatever this mission might be. I don't know. I've heard of Bilbo. I've never actually met him. Good at hiding he is. But and if you need a drink, I tap my pouch. I've got a bottle here. Whenever you need it, for a little bit of spirit. Bit of spirit for the spirit, I always say.
And
And I look like I'm a pretty fat hobbit with a little goatee, fairly youngish looking, very cheerful, rosy cheeks.
yeah,
But I
I
am like
mean,
in my mid
I think
30s.
it's important you don't, nothing wrong with a short, rotund hobbit. It's a sign of good living. So
Yeah, I
you're
get
sitting
around
there.
easy.
Bilbo is there. He's much thinner than you because he does a lot of walking and
Pat my belly. He
being
doesn't try hard enough.
and being fit and all that sort of weird stuff that you're not sure you have truck with.
Don't need it. Not the woods are big and deep, but they're not very straight and narrow, so you don't need to run very fast.
Exactly. So then I think just because by dint of the way the camera's ordering people, I think the next person to arrive is Thrun. Thrun of Durin's folk. And by the way,
Oh,
just to
little short ass.
confirm, you are a member of Durin's clan. You're not like one of the other dwarvish clans, right? You're like you probably don't know. I don't know how much into Lord of the Rings you are. That's a really
Me
nerd
medium.
deep
I've
nerd deep
been
question.
rapidly getting up to speed in the last few weeks.
Right.
Very
Yes,
good,
I
very good.
believe I am one of Durin's folk.
Okay,
Mm.
so big long beard, pretty
Yep.
heavily built, pretty wealthy too.
Pretty wealthy. I dropped a picture in Discord just before.
Okay,
Yeah, so it looks
I will
great.
treat with
Thanks to
that.
the old AI.
I will
Yep.
treat with that
Um,
right now. Get on top of that. All right. Do you want to describe your lovely self?
So I am Thrun, which I didn't realize I had to pronounce until you said it out loud a moment ago. I am relatively young for a dwarf, a nice 108 years old. A well-traveled explorer for my age. Spend most of my time hunting out old ruins and especially old dwarvish holds or mines that we might be able to find. And similar to Ewan, I heard that there might be a bit of an opportunity for a steer from a renowned collector, Bilbo. So here for a brief stop in town before I get back out into the wilderness.
Nice.
You encounter any trouble on the way here?
Nothing I couldn't handle, Ewan.
Okay, so wood should be pretty safe. Just letting you know.
All right. So, I mean
And just sorry, just for reference, given the pub that we're in, I managed to get 2 free points of brawling through my other combat proficiencies,
You
which
did.
I feel like is just relevant information.
Sure. Actually, the prancing pony is mostly not a violent place. There's the Bree Wardens, of which Erwin is a candidate member, that keep the peace. All right, I've put everyone's photos in. Okay, so then the first of two very tall folk. Okay, Adelbrand.
Yep, I guess I walked into the bar. I'm tall. I'm very well dressed. Wearing a chain shirt, but otherwise my clothing is pretty immaculate. And I will buy myself an ale, which I believe canonically does come in pints.
It does.
And look around. Obviously, there's 2 hobbits and a dwarf.
Yep.
Sitting in front of me. So there. I mean, you don't see that very often. So I guess I will buy pints for them too.
Nice.
And,
Okay, there's a
walk over and
quite
introduce myself.
large number of pints appearing, and there's a fairly significant effort being made to reduce it. You're pretty wealthy as well, right? So you're
Yep.
quite well to do. You've got very nice clothes. And then finally, last but not least, but certainly the tallest, if not the prettiest, although based on that picture, maybe I'm wrong. Valandil. Yeah, Valandil. That's what we're going with.
Biggest deal in the party.
All right, Valandil, talk to me.
Right. So I have journeyed long. I have journeyed long and far to reach this summons. I stop at the door and I just observe the clientele and think, because I'm a person who does not do indoors well, and so I need to basically identifying potentially, ways of egress or threats. Once I see the this eclectic party, I will I move over to them, and I take the chair that has my back to the wall, and I say, and I nod to each of them, so well met.
I
No
nod as
dishwater
well.
for my friend over here, barkeep.
And now, needless to say, perhaps not needless to say, up until this point, the clientele of the Prancing Pony have been mostly, they like a bit of wealth coming into town. Dwarves spend a lot of money and they can fix stuff, which is great. Random humans who are clearly quite wealthy and rock up with 2 horses are going to buy stuff or sell stuff, also great. Hobbits, always lovely. Love a good hobbit visiting. But when they all noticed the super tall, super creepy ranger, there's a bit of a
Yeah.
don't know about
the
that.
tone, the whole tone of the
The whole
evening
tone of
goes
the
down.
evening drops slightly, and people are like, I don't know if I like that. Hey. At this point, Barnabas, possibly father, maybe grandfather of Barlamain, steps up to the table. Good sir, so would you be keen on some food?
I
Always, of
nod. I'm
course.
like, yeah, just put it on my tab.
Yeah,
He knows
about
me,
your
sure.
tab. just on the tab issue.
Yeah, that's it. Right on top. That's it.
It's meant to be paid.
Meanwhile,
at some
I'm moving
point.
around in my wallet, like in my
Yeah.
purse,
Oh,
trying to
I
remember
must
how
have
much
left
I owe
my
him. I
other.
can't remember.
I must have left my other pouch at
Yeah.
home today.
I'll go warm up the Jag.
Yeah,
Might have-
exactly.
Yeah, it might have fallen out while I was protecting the town from all the bandits in the woods. I'll have to go back and check later. Just put it on my tab like we agreed last time. It'll be fine. I'm good for it. This guy, I pointed Bilbo. He'll vouch for me.
To which Bilbo quite in quite a friendly and happy voice answers, of course, nothing would be greater. How about I just pay for the lot? And Barnabas goes, well, Mr. Baggins, that would be very generous, sir.
I'll have 2. I'll have 2 then.
Did I mention will there be dessert, sir?
I just look at him. Like he's asking a stupid question.
Yeah, it's like, oh yes, of course.
Very confused.
We've got a very fine lamb, if that takes your fancy. Or we've got sausages in things.
Taters.
And taters, lots of taters.
What's taters, precious?
Yeah, well, actually, we've got 3 kinds of tater meal. Like, you can have it fried, roasted, and mashed. As in
And
all
mashed.
in one. Yeah, in all in one. Yeah. You have that with the sausages. And a thick dollop of gravy to make it all work.
That's amazing. I have some lamb and the roast taters and some gravy, thanks.
Excellent.
And a glass of wine.
Well,
and for my friend too.
Oh, Bilbo's like, whatever. All right, so Barnabas goes away and Bilbo leans forward into the table in a very conspiratorial fashion, sort of leans forward, waiting for all of you to lean in onto the table.
I lean in.
Excellent.
Yep.
I've heard Bilbo. He likes his drama.
Exactly. Friends, I know that you know not of each other, but I believe there is something worthy of all of your attention, and I am happy to bring you together and even pay a small amount of the cost, but hopefully your interest will be perked by this news. I've heard tell that in the far south there is a singer
What?
He
How
looks.
far
He
did I
looks.
come for a singer?
Yes,
I've
yes,
come
a
a
singer.
very, very long way.
Yes, no. Well, I should explain. Let me tell you the story. And he settles back, orders 3 more drinks. Right, the story. So, my good friends in looks once again conspiratorially leans forward in Rivendell. Um, uh,
What?
you know, I've been there a few times and I've read a few books, as I'm sure all of you have. In that time, I stumbled across some stories from long ago, indeed from the end of the First Age of the Great Wars. Um, and in those stories was the story of the last 2 brothers, sons of Fëanor, Madros and Maglor. Now, according to the stories, we know that Madros took the Simral that he had stolen at the end of the Great Battle, and hurled himself into a fiery chasm with the Simral. And the Simral was returned to the earth, and of course he himself passed into the halls of Mandros, never to be seen in mortal lands again. However, and this is the thing, it is not so clear what happened to his brother. Now, I know for some of you that'll have no meaning. His brother, son of Fëanor, the great singer Maglor, did take the Simral and cast it into the ocean. But there are rumours that he lives even onto this day. Now, surely in these darkening times, such a great elf lord, possibly the greatest elf lord in all of Eriador, if not in all of Middle Earth, would be worthy of investigation. And I've heard stories that have passed to me of his appearance. And I understand that for some of you that may not be enough. So I also offer to you, I have heard rumours of 2 other things in the south that I believe will bring your attention. One, the doors of Moria have been opened. And 2,
Terrifying.
there are rumours of black ships sailing the southern coast, spreading lies and dissent amongst the peoples of southern Eriador. But if but hopefully you'll be just as excited about random elf lords as I am, he says.
Legends and love stories are for children that have long since passed the veil, but the movement of the black ships concerns me greatly.
And
I mean, I like stories.
and I realised, Thrun, that yourself and might be interested in understanding who would dare open the gates of Moria.
Deeply concerning.
Particularly noting Dane Ironfoot, king of Eregion's. Sorry, not Eregion. Oh, God. Eriador, not Eriador. Bloody hell. Tolkien, get more split the words further.
There are more than E and
Yeah.
in names.
Yeah, whole regions should have different names, just saying. You were on a winner with Run. Why did you stop? As you are aware, Dane has commanded that no dwarf should pass the gates of Moria without his explicit permission. But surely,
Of course, now that the doors are open, I mean,
it would.
I'm sure some treasure might fall out of those doors at some point. That's a thing that I hear happens around
It
Moria.
is a thing that you hear happens, and there are great treasures inside Moria that are still awaiting discovery. Now important minor linguistic point. Dwarves don't refer to Moria as Moria; they refer to it as Daradelf, to a large extent, because they don't truck with calling it, the Dark Pit, which apparently is what
Yeah,
Moria
that's
means.
fair enough.
So I wonder if all of you might be interested in traveling to the south, and I brought you together because I think together as a group you bring great skills to each other. My good friend Erwin, distant cousin on my mother's side, um, is a fine thinker and leader, and not too shoddy with a spear. Thrun, obviously, your battle skills precede you, and equally your deep knowledge of the the stories of your people might do you well. Adelbrand, I love your bow, and I'm sure you have other skills which I'm now looking at. And
You're
uh,
great, buddy.
yeah, I hear you're awesome. Um, well, I mean, the people of Bard are famous for their bravery, but equally, I believe your sweet tongue and your deep insight will serve the group well. And then finally, of course, Valandil, as a member of the Dunedain, um, your battle prowess and competence in the wilderness precede you. So I believe that you are the right people. Now, um, if you discover the truth of the stories of the singer on the beach, and I just want to say I've been collecting a lot of maps. So if you were able to come back with some maps, that would be just amazing. I'd be, very excited to see more maps returned. Um, so please uh, feel free to bring those back.
Can do.
Mm.
So, this singer on the beach, that seems at odds with your idea that the doors of Moria have opened. There are no beaches in Moria.
Well, and he then reaches into his pouch and unfurls this giant map of Eriador, which I'm looking up at my wall because I have the map of Eriador on my wall, which is quite useful. Um,
Nerd.
and he says, "Well, yes, but I mean, as you can see, he grabs the map, and I think you're all on the Eriador map. Yep, you are. Awesome. Uh, the entrance to Moria, yeah, the Red Horn Gate there.
Drop
Yeah,
out my character
it
sheet. There we go.
The West Gate.
is over here. Um, Equally, the stories that I've heard in this region, the stories of the singer on the beach can be heard here, traveling between the two great rivers that flow south. And then finally, the black ships. The people of Longdur have reported the presence of the black ships, and you can reach them. I should warn you, this will mean traveling through Tharbad, and most of you at least have a vague idea of where Tharbad is. It's a long way south for you, Ewan. Thrun probably
Yeah,
hasn't
I've
had a
heard of it,
lot
but
of
I've
need
never
to
been
go
there.
there.
There's no forests, no trouble, no bar.
So it's probably not a bad time, even just so we can test it. So if you could all make a explore roll for me, please.
All right, so
Find character sheet. Give me a second.
So
sheet.
the dice
Do I just
rolling
click on
should
it?
now be working. I
Press
have
click to roll the
picked up the
skill.
problem.
I click. Oh, okay. Up it comes. I'm not weary. I'm not miserable.
No, you're just rolling a straight up roll, so you don't need to do anything. It should just be a straight up roll.
That looks good. Got an eye, which makes
Yeah.
me feel like there's no trouble ahead.
Okay, cool. So it's actually super useful. So one
that's
of you
pretty
got an
cool.
extraordinary success, which was Thrun. So it turns out I was wrong.
Okay.
Thrun knows everything there is to know about Tharbad. Obviously went south for some reason or another. Okay, so the way the skill system works is you roll what's called a feat dice and a success die. Feat die is a D12. Success die are D6s. You get a D6 per skill pip. So if you've got 2, you get 2 success die. You always roll a feat die. So any roll you make, you get a feat die. If you roll an Eye of Sauron, which is the eye symbol,
That's
you generally that counts as 0 for the result, and in certain conditions is an automatic fail. If you get a Gandalf, the Gandalf rune, the little Y rune, up, that is counted as an automatic success. So you get 1 automatic success. So no matter what the test is. You're rolling against your target number. So where you've got strength and target number of 14, if you're rolling athletics, you're rolling it against that target number. So it's a feat plus 2d6 against a target number of 14 to give you a sense. So in some ways, the One Ring is a game that tends to make it harder for success earlier in the game, but as you develop XP, you'll actually rapidly find the fact that the target number is pretty static means that your skills actually rapidly get to the point of being pretty solid at passing. You can obviously always roll low. Each 6 you roll on a success die, assuming you succeed, so assuming you get greater than the target number, counts as an additional success. 1 additional success creates what's called a great success. 2 additional or more successes cause an extraordinary success. When you go to combat, the success model works differently because it lets you do special things that cause extra damage or make it more likely the creature is to take a wound. So on that note, Thrun, you know a lot about Tharbad. You've obviously been there. So Tharbad is an old town, probably helped built by the dwarves at the end of the Second Age and into the Third Age. It's been around for a really long time, a couple of thousand years. However, it's mostly depopulated now. So the population, the city's quite large. The number of people who live in it is measured in the hundreds. The city is under the control of a bandit lord, effectively. He's pretty rough and ready. He does run the place, and he keeps a degree of civility or at least law operating, but he's not, someone that you'd probably recommend your friends go and visit anytime soon. So the way most people travel through Thryabad is there's a toll for traveling through the town, and the way Tharbad is set across the river. So as a rule, you have to go through Tharbad. There's an island fortress in the middle. There's 2 outer rings of the city, and so you travel across it. You travel through that middle island, and then you continue on the road south. There are some good people you probably know of. Who will you know? Let's go with Agnar. Okay, so the one person you've dealt with in Tharbad is Agnar the librarian, who has been collecting old scrolls and books and other things from Tharbad's decaying buildings and trying to keep them together. You're pretty sure she can't read.
Okay.
But she can copy. And so what she's doing is
a monk of old.
She's actually just copying out the books without necessarily understanding the words. But she's nice and old and not particularly troublesome, and you've had some decent dealings with her.
What was her name again?
Agnar. Agna. Agnar the librarian.
And I've got, so thinking if we might have a librarian contact on the way through, I've got a detailed set of maps. Was one of my equipments.
Yeah,
cool.
I wonder if Mr. Baggins can give us, like, if he's particularly interested in maps, maybe he could give me a walkthrough of some of his maps before we go, so that I know what he might be looking for.
Yes. So he can do that. So he's got his map of Eriador, which he's got unfurled that you guys can all see. He points out a whole bunch of locations. What he's mostly interested in, he said, oh, well, look, I know you're not going to break Dane's rules about going into the city. But if you were able to get any maps at all of any part of Daradelf, that would be amazing. But anything that fills in, like as you can see, if you have a look, my maps are broadly empty. There's not I don't have a lot of detail. Pretty much, I have these cities. I mean, I've got Tharbad to the south. I mean, or towns, he would say, rather than cities, because there are no cities except maybe the Grey Havens in all of Eriador. So there's Hobbiton and there's Mitchell Delving, sorry. There's Bree and the 4 villages that surround it. There's Tharbad to the south. There's that place over there that doesn't get a name. And there is a whole bunch of halls of dwarves. Actually, a really important point is running all the way down that mountain chain north of Linden. There's a whole bunch of dwarf holds of varying sizes, which you've probably been to. And no one really knows how many dwarves there are in those mountains. They're not Durin's folk as a general rule. They're the people who fled when Burial Land was destroyed. So they tend to be from Nogothrod and I can't remember the name of the other city, but the 2 big cities that were populated by people other than Durin's folk.
Yep.
Right. So, what would you like to do?
Is that food arrived yet?
Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, I assume you've been eating while all of this has been going on. I assumed you haven't actually stopped eating while all this is going on.
And just not to be, a dwarf can never be shown up, so I've pointedly stood one more round than everybody else at this point.
Right. You drink large.
I do not drink.
You don't drink. No wonder you're unpopular.
I do drink, but these gentlemen obviously have some sort of competition going. I will sip.
Hearing this, I casually reached for the pitcher of wine that I had ordered for him and has been sitting next to him this whole time, and I'm just like,
well, if you don't want
I make no move to stop him.
I mean, if you don't want it, I'd hate to see it go to waste. There's a pretty big group of people, and I can play with my tables selector now. Do I have the Brie table? No, I don't. Of course I don't. Why would I put that in? Do better. Okay. That's Tharbad. No one cares about Tharbad. It's a rubbish place. I feel like that's the story of Tharbad. It's like, who goes to Tharbad? It is it's like that scene. Shall we go to Camelot? No, sir. It is a silly place. Exactly. That's the one. There we go. And I think I'll just roll those. Yeah, I see. Okay. So you're all sitting there, Erwin.
Yep.
You see one of the Fernie clan come in. Now the Fernies keep ponies. They live towards the edge of Bree. You've always got your eye on them because they're, obviously, whilst members of Bree citizenry and therefore a cut above everyone else, they are also very dodgy people. You see one of the Fernie clan sort of come into the prancing pony. Looks around for a second, obviously trying to find someone. His eyes alight upon you as a member of the Bree wardens. And he races over to you. Ah, Iron Bottle, isn't it?
Indeed. How can I be of service? I hope you haven't found any monsters in the forest.
No. But 2 of the ponies have gone missing. And there's rumours, and he reaches over at this point. He goes, and there's rumours that there's one of those thieving ranger types around.
Look like this fella.
Looks up. I mean, of course not, sir. No, not exactly like him. He'd be, I don't know, sir. He'd be different. Yeah. So I think
Right.
someone's taken some ponies, sir. And what I need is, I need you to come and have a look for them.
All right. Well, I mean, sure, fellas. You want to? I'll give you a tour of the town while we look for this pony. Shouldn't take too long.
Most of you have
Is
been to
this-
Bree at least once. It will not take long to get a tour of Bree.
Is this necessary?
Well, I'm just trying to help the community.
Hmm.
And you've got your name to clear too, right? Not necessarily yourself, good sir, kind sir, pal, but folk who looks like you and upsets the locals.
I think the locals would be upset in their own mirror image. But fine.
All right, you travel out. So he leads you to the Fernie stables, which are right against the wall of Bree. So Bree's got this low palisade made of wood going all the way around the outside of it to keep troublemakers out. If you can I get hunting rolls? I think it will be.
Yep.
As you sort of squibble around and have a look at various things.
From whom? From everyone?
Everyone who's looking.
He's my
Oh,
lowest
that's
skill.
bad.
No, it's good because you rolled because it's your favorite skill. So you got both an Eye of Sauron and a Gandalf.
And a Gandalf.
And you get to choose which one you keep, and you kept the Gandalf. Makes complete sense.
Amazing.
Okay, well, look, good news. The ranger knows what he's doing when it comes to hunting. Win. Okay,
He
so
remembers where he hid the pony.
he remembers where he hid the pony.
Mighty
Okay.
convenient that you've happened to anyway.
You
Oh.
look around the stable and quickly realize that no ponies have left this yard. At least not tonight. Like, as in,
Okay.
sorry, let me be very careful and
Walked
correct.
out of here. They
None
may
have
have been
walked
picked
out.
up and removed.
Carried.
So
Yeah.
before I think, what I do look for is like these are ponies like Bill, right? So they're probably
Yeah, Bree ponies are
150
super
kilos.
famous. Yeah, they're very smart.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that I look for other tracks,
Yeah.
right, that are deeper, right? So like just to see if something has carried them out.
Okay.
Pony
was there a
carrying another
cart
pony.
Okay.
Well,
You
no, not duo pono.
stacked ponies. How did they stack them? All right. You can't.
So no, I was thinking insight.
So it's more awareness than insight.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you want me to do a roll? Sorry.
Yep. Yes. Yes, I do. Brutal. Okay. You can't see any signs inside the walls.
All right. Oh yeah, I convey this information to my friends, and I begin to widen the search outside the walls.
Yeah. So you go out through the gate and around the long winding wall. You get to the point, and you can see two very large footprints, far bigger than a human.
Ooh.
are in the ground, and
Not good.
and looking at them hard, they're quite deep, so it doesn't take you a lot to work it out. So
Troll.
something's climbed up the palisade, reached down, grabbed something, and then jumped back down onto the ground,
Oh shit.
which has left a quite deep set of footprints. And then you can see without too much difficulty that they've then plodded off into the sort of north away from Bree.
Well, I can tell you that it looks like the wardens may have missed one. So the Bree wardens may have missed a troll.
Okay, so
I pretended I didn't hear what he said. What?
So whilst no one uses the road anymore, the road north to Fornost, which goes past the Chetwood. By the way, the map is pretty fine grained, so you can
Yep.
zoom in quite a bit. So it looks like the footsteps have travelled north along the road to Fornost.
How many days ago?
Oh no, this has just happened. It's just in the last hour.
Well, I look to the Bree warden. Well, it is in the opposite direction of where we need to travel this
Excellent.
this day.
That's good. That's good. That's convenient, right?
As in, you are not interested in pursuing this, as is your job.
No. Not hold on a second. What I was trying to say was that we needed to investigate what happened to the horses. We figured that out now. They're not anywhere here. They're not in the woods, and they're near something with giant footprints, which is heading in the opposite direction of where we're going. I think that's all we need to know. It's all pretty comfortable. I'll let everyone know. Not much point us getting distracted.
Not our pony.
No, I mean, I'm only one.
We must deal with this. We cannot leave that beast roaming in the populated lands. Our job, my job, is to protect those that sometimes don't deserve it.
Wow. This is why I need to drink. That's what I'm trying to get through to you. Right, let's do it. You heard the tall, handsome fella. Let's take care of this, and we can get back to Mr. Baggins' trip.
Okay.
Come on, chop chop.
So
Right.
you all
turn on a dime. My
head.
enthusiasm is infectious.
You all head off towards the north. So a small comment about the One Ring. You will always be rewarded for being heroic in the One Ring. Well, unless you're fighting a dragon and you get killed by it, as happened to some of my players. Anyway, but they
So
did
what
kill
you're saying is, if you do things heroic and live.
Yeah, well, in all fairness, they did kill the dragon.
Discretion
they
being
didn't
the
live.
better part of valor.
Yeah, so they did okay.
Well, I want to be clear. That's what we're doing now, right?
That is what you're doing. Okay, so there's a moment of quiet while Erwin sculls whatever remains of his wine bottle.
Well, technically, it's the Dunedain's wine bottle. I was
Sure.
just looking after it for him.
Just looking after it, and then you all stalk off towards the north. It doesn't take you long, and by the way, self-evidently, I just want to test out the combat system so you guys can get your head
That's
around.
why I wasn't being a dick about it.
Yeah, just so we can test the combat system. So you head north, and about 30 minutes later, you can see in the not too distant area. By the way, no one can see in the dark.
Someone's got a lantern though.
Yeah,
I've got a
exactly what I
lantern,
mean.
yeah.
As in, dwarves don't have night vision. They're not bad in the dark, and you can actually take a virtue that makes you good at fighting in the dark. But you actually need light, just like everyone else. There's no infravision in the One Ring. Okay, so you can see sort of the shadowy form of this troll ahead of you. It's not paying any attention to you. Now, let me first of all swap over to the Did I put it in rules?
Has he eaten the ponies, or is he just carrying them?
He's for now he's carrying them. Okay, so got that, not that.
Oh, the thing is still going. The tavern music is still playing. This is highly inappropriate.
No, that's not tavern music. Oh, that is tavern music. I'll turn the tavern music off. Valhalla Awaits
Get back
is now.
inside! I'm yelling at everyone else. Get back inside and finish your drinks. We'll take care of the monster.
There we go.
Oh shit.
That might be better.
That seems much more appropriate.
Okay.
Oh,
So the way the way combat
Okay,
works.
this is cool.
So you've got stances, which you can take. In the first round of combat, you actually just throw missiles at people. So I'll just put you all on the thing, so you can move yourselves around. If it comes across, good.
Look at this.
And Aldebrand, there you are. Yeah, you guys wanted to play some proper fantasy games. This is,
Love it.
This is what it is. This is. I don't want a complicated control. I want a simple control.
so should we all be in the rearward for the volley?
Yeah. So you start with just a simple common hill troll. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Bloody hill troll.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Okay, cool.
Well, it's not bloody yet.
So tough and nasty, but the four of you should be able to take it. So the way it works is in the first round, you can you just launch missiles, particularly if you have them by surprise, which you do. So targeting is a straight up right click and hit. Oh, actually, hold on. I need to do two things before you do that, or it'll whinge at you. Now, what you'll notice is you're all getting your little bow stances.
Yep.
You see that you've all got little bows.
Yeah.
That means that we are in the volley round, as per your comment. So if you have a ranged weapon, and a spear does count, but obviously if you throw your spear, you've thrown your spear.
Gone. Yep.
So you may not want to. If you right click on the target and hit the little target symbol, you should see a little coloured pip appear above the head of the monster.
I don't get anything when I right click it.
Do it twice. The targeting arrows will come up then.
The targeting arrows are there, but nothing to.
Yeah, the pips are to show everybody else is targeted. You don't see your own.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was okay.
But
No.
We get to those arrows coming in.
Because I'm looking at people. Oh no, there's.
I don't get anything.
Okay. Someone just did it because now there's 4, which is.
Is it red? Is that me? I just double clicked and arrows came in. I double right clicked.
Yeah.
But Tom, you can see 3 dots above.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about that.
That's
you
the
guys,
other
right?
players.
Yeah,
Arrows.
I wasn't getting the arrows before, but now I am. Yeah. I just quickly double right clicked and it worked.
Okay, so on that note, so because it's volley, Tom, are you going to? Well,
no, I'm not going to throw.
You're not going to throw your spear. You're going to hold on to it. Fair enough. Adelbrand, I assume you are going to shoot them with your great bow.
I am.
Right, so make sure you don't use this weapon skill. Use the weapon.
Weapon. Yep.
Now, you can spend hope, if you want, to increase your likelihood of hitting.
I'll hold off a moment.
Okay.
Hope is relatively hard to get back, right?
For some of you.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay. So, you've managed to hit it for 4 points of damage, but you've also delivered a piercing blow. Yes, with your 9. Damn it. And because you've got a keen bow, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. So the way combat works is damage gets applied to endurance. Wounds get applied, can kill instantaneously. Most characters can take 2 wounds. Most monsters can take 1 or 2, depending on their might. Some can take more than that. You don't want to fight them. In this case, the troll will need to make a protection test. Now, because it's a troll, it has the ability to spend hate to increase
Rough.
its
That is rough.
protection. So I'm going to do that so that it's less vulnerable, which will give it a bonus
Because it might die otherwise.
because it
Listen,
might
fella.
die otherwise. The troll is wounded because I rolled a Gandalf.
So it's dead.
No, it takes 1 wound. It's got 2. Trolls can
Halfway to death.
trolls halfway to death. So when you guys roll an Eye of Sauron in combat, bad.
Yeah.
When the good bad guys roll a Gandalf in combat, bad.
Oh, but Gandalf is a bad guy swear word. Oh, fucking Gandalf, that shit.
And when you get your little combat box up, which I've just applied, you can just right click on it and go apply all damages and states, and it'll apply the lot to the monster or to yourself. Okay, so that was really successful, Dave. Yeah, okay, awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This will be a very short example of combat at this rate. Adelbrand, what are you doing?
How are you?
Oh, not Adelbrand. Vandrel. Are you shooting it? Are you just gonna just wait? Waiting. Got a spear? Want to throw a spear? Nick, this is all about you, buddy.
Oh, fuck. Lol. Gotta learn.
I just realised that you weren't responding because I don't think you
No,
caught me
because I
saying
didn't think it
that.
was me.
Yeah, no.
Yep, I got a bow, man. I got a bow.
Okay, shoot the troll. Click on the weapon. Yeah, that's not going to hit.
No.
Okay, good news.
It's
Troll
dark.
says, haha, you are a shit bowman. All right,
Well, this is a little problem because I'm rushing headlong towards it.
excellent. And then...
Remember, Tom, you didn't move yourself back, right? So, but you've
No, my
got
stance.
three
that's
inches
okay for
down,
volley
so
in the
you're
next
actually
round.
back with us.
When
Oh,
we
that's
get to
okay
the
then.
end of this combat round, we'll go through setting up combat stances. The sheet is just to help you visualize it. You actually need to do something when you do it. Anyway, we'll deal with that in a sec. Thrun, have you got a throwing axe or throwing spear that you would like to hurl, or a bow for that matter, that you'd like
I
to hurl?
have a. Well, I seem to have 2 axes, which I don't think I should. But I have.
Do you have a two-handed and a one-handed version of your axe? Is that why you have 2
Correct.
axes? Yeah.
Oh, is that I can just use it?
Yeah, so you can drop your shield and equip the two-handed and go wailing with the two-handed, which means
it.
you're
Alright.
more likely to cause injury.
So
Oh,
I've
wailing?
targeted the
That's
guy.
what
There's the
beaches.
arrows, and then I click the spear. Is that right?
Indeed, you do.
Which was not equipped, which is now equipped.
Yep.
Click the spear. Just hit roll.
Yep.
Nice, I think.
Oh, great success.
What
Yeah.
was that little symbol on the 6? Doesn't matter.
Probably just.
I think it's
pretty
just a
six.
fancy 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just a fancy 6.
Here we go. It's a great success. It's not. Did you roll the weapon or the skill?
The weapon. Click the weapon. Click roll.
Oh, have you got a pop-up box that's asking you to
Oh.
choose things?
I do. Sorry, it was in the wrong window.
Yeah.
So heavy blow, fend off, pierce, or shield thrust.
So you could go for pierce if you want to try and wound it. Heavy
yeah.
blow will do more damage.
Pierce.
All right.
There
So
we go.
yes, because you applied your great success to increasing your piercing number, I am now in danger of dying completely, and I haven't done anything.
Turns out there were 2 trolls.
How did you know?
Wait,
all right.
I think I hear another troll.
But this time, he's got Yes, much better. Didn't roll a Gandalf. Okay, awesome. So that cost me a hate point though. So now I'm down to 3. That's less good. Because I don't have that many. All right, cool. So he then but he doesn't have anything. Oh, maybe he does actually. Does he have something he can throw at you? Jeez. No, he doesn't, because he's a dull-witted troll, and he could throw a pony at you. Good point. He could throw a pony at you.
Oh no.
He might throw a pony at you. Why not? Let's throw a pony at someone. That'll be fun. Okay, he's gonna throw it at the charging halfling. Why? Because he can. And
This is this is not great. Look at my shield. This is
Outrageous.
not This is not going to work. Okay, I do have like a forward roll to dive underneath it. What do I do?
Okay, he's got to hit a target number of 19 because you're a dodgy little guy,
Yeah, I
and
am.
he's rolling. And even though I rolled 2 6s and a 4, I didn't get the 19 I needed to hit you.
Well, that
So
sounds like a
the
troll
pony
problem.
is hurled. You think, that pony might not be getting back up. All right, so he hurls the pony at you in response. Bastard. All right.
Oh no, that poor
Next
little
turn.
pony.
Okay,
Look
so
what.
now what happens is you can apply stances. So if you right click on your character avatar icon, whatever, you'll see that you have these things on the far side. There's a double set of swords, an axe, and a shield, and a bow. Is that what you're all seeing?
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so
Oh, look at that. Sick.
So if you take forward stance, you will gain a bonus die to hit the monster. It will gain a bonus die to hit you.
Yep.
If you take the middle one, which is called open stance with the axe,
Yep.
it's neutral. You're basically rolling
Yep.
your dice, it's rolling its dice. If you take the shield one, you're taking defensive. I lose a dice, you lose a dice. So you are less likely to hit. I am less likely to hit. If there's enough of you, and there is, one of you or more than one of you can take what's called rearward stance, which actually makes you really hard to hit, but can only be used to use missile weapons. So
How do I protect companions?
Sorry?
Like it says combat task, protect companions.
Okay, so that's the next layer of complexity. So when you choose a stance, instead of attacking, you can use one of these special maneuvers. So in the case of, and I probably need to just move so I can read it. So if you're in forward stance, you can intimidate your foe, which means you roll your awe skill to try and reduce their confidence. And if you exceed their might, they lose dice from their attacks. If you are in the middle, the combat task is rally comrades, and I need to remember what rally comrades is because it's been a while. God, I'm going to have to navigate the bloody complexities of this. It'll be in the adventuring, combat. Yep, there we go. Close quarter, company is ambushed. We're not doing that. Here we go. Did that bit. Sure, there's just a list. Here we go. Rally comrades. On a successful roll, everyone in forward, a person on a successful roll, people who are in forward stance gain an additional dice. On 2 successes, people in open stance gain an additional dice, as well as the person at the front who's gaining an additional dice. And on 3 successes, everyone gets it who's fighting in combat. So the defensive, the open, and the forward. So you can basically...
Okay, that's cool.
So as a combat tactic, to be pretty explicit, Jason, who was playing the Uber Dwarf, the Uber Hobbit, who just had in Hearten Unbelievable, put themselves in open stance all the time and just rolled in Hearten. Couldn't fight for shit, didn't matter, because they could add a bonus die to everyone else's combat skill, and they had 4 pips in Hearten by that point, and were stupidly good at it. And so it actually was a really successful tactic for making the party much more effective at fighting. And then Protect Companion is basically you hurl your shield in front of your friend, you reduce the likelihood that they're going to be hit by a dice per success that you roll on what's Protect? Athletics. So for each success, you reduce the opponent's attack by 1 die.
Against a specific, like you have to choose someone to protect.
Yeah, you have to choose. Yeah, and then and also rearward, you can choose to forego an attack, make a scan roll to get bonus die in your next attack. So if you're not hitting the side of a barn, you can sit down and go, all right, I'm just going to pay attention to what they're doing, try and get some bonus die, by doing a scan roll, and then for each one you get each
Okay,
success you
cool.
get a bonus die. So there's some flexibility about how the combat works. All right, so with that explained, can I get I assume Erwin, you want to be in a different stance to Bo, just making that point. So right click on your little floating icon and you should have the 4 choices on the far left hand side, I guess is how I'd read it. So the double swords, the axe, the shield, and the bow. Currently you're on bow.
Don't. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna go the first one forward
Perfect.
because I'm doing the thing, and I don't have to. What's the up and bring to front, center, back? Is that relevant here?
No, you just drag yourself into the forward. That's
Just
all
drag
good.
it.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, and that's just so we can keep account of where people have put themselves. It's no more than that. It's a visual aid.
Yeah.
All right, so initiative in this game is very simple. It's basically stance predicates initiative. So on that note, Erwin, since you're first, you can go first.
All right.
You're in forward stance, so it'll automatically apply the bonus for being in forward stance.
Nice.
Target your roll your sword. You've already got the troll targeted.
Well, I pull out my spear. It's time to reveal the big guns.
Your pointy, jagged spear. Now,
I just dropped my sword,
okay.
so I can't put it away, right?
Yeah, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to try and finish this this nonsense.
Yep.
Those spears in the
Yeah.
face.
Now you
In the
can
face.
spend hope.
Oh.
I'll just remind you can spend hope to add an additional dice to your attack.
Yeah, but I'm pretty good fighting. This is a troll. I'm good. I'm fine. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. No. Not I already. No, it's fine. No, this is terrible.
Okay. So no. On that dice roll, actually, you.
One's pretty bad.
Actually, why did that only roll 2 dice? Because you've got 2 spear, right?
Yep.
Hold on. That should have rolled more than that. Because you're in forward stance. Did it not apply the forward stance?
Mr. Troll, just hold on a second. I think I've just got to adjust my spear a little bit.
I just need to call tech support.
Oh, that's annoying.
They said it's 15 minutes, but my patience is important to them. So if you just hold on, my friends will take care of you. I'll be just
Okay, that's super. That's not what I expected. I thought it would give you the.
Is it just weird?
The bonus die. It won't
Doesn't matter.
matter in this case anyway because a D6 isn't going to get you anywhere. All right. So on that note, then, Monsieur Thrun, as it is, I believe, it is your go. So choose your axe, and I would suggest put a dice. You've got the pull down the bottom of bonus die. Just click on a bonus die, and it should add it. Just for me, use a hope point. You'll be able to recharge it. It's fine.
So I clicked hope point bonus die.
Yeah.
And then it said inspired. And there's one of the dice down in the bonus penalty thing highlighted.
I don't think you can be inspired because, it depends. I fiercely attack my opponent, maybe. You are in forward stance.
It appeared when I clicked the hope point.
Yeah, because it's asking you, are you inspired?
I see. I could click it again.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then choose the bonus die from down the bottom as well.
Yep.
And then click roll.
Special success.
Okay, now it's doing the thing where it's adding the thing. Okay, I don't know what's going on. All right, anyway, that's fine. I don't know why I added for you. And yeah, heavy blow, 12 points of damage. Okay, apply all damage. Okay, so the troll is down to half its endurance. Okay. Right, at that moment, it is open stance. Oh, defensive stance. It's defensive stance.
A clock.
A clock.
So
Go for
my
it.
choice is either I can use the task or I can attack.
Correct.
So I will give the who's got the best defense?
Actually, the Hobbit's pretty hard to hit.
My parry is 16.
But if the Hobbit gets hit, it all becomes much less fun for the Hobbit.
Yes.
Rightio. So I'm just going to do protect companion. So
Okay.
I
So make an
roll
athletics roll.
athletics.
Yep. Oh, wow. 2.
Gandalf.
Yeah. So you got 2 successes. So you got a great success. So
Pretty good.
Shimmy may choose to
Do that
protect
more
another
often.
hero fighting in close stance. Okay, actually, it's interesting. I've never thought about this properly. I'm sure I could go and read the errata and I'll find the proper answer. But for the sake of this combat, we'll just let you apply that -2 die. Since it's only going to attack one person, I'll just reduce its attack by 2 die. So you'll just choose, like, because you're only fighting one opponent, you can basically intersect. All right, so that's what you're doing. So you're going to reduce its attack damage, its attack roll by 2, which leaves us with, last but certainly not least, go for it, Adelbard.
Fire another arrow.
Yeah. I'd expect no less.
I'll put a hope point into it.
And look how good a choice that was. Nice. Okay, so with that, you... Oh, God, it's another one. I'm going to burn another hate point to try and stop you from killing me. Yes. I'm now down to 2 hate. That's not so great. I had plans for my hate. All right. Okay, so it's now the troll's turn, and it is going to target. I think it'll choose to target the dwarf this time, actually, just on the basis of the Hobbit's not a threat. Sorry, Hobbit, you're just not.
Well, I'm on the phone. Just give me a second.
I accidentally put you out of the combat, but I fixed that. Okay. So I'm going to hit you with my club. I get a bonus die. Okay, so it is out now, adding the bonus die. Okay, good. And then I'm going to apply. Going to take that down to -2. So I'm only rolling 1 die. Spend a hate point. Fuck it. Okay, all right. So at least I've got a neutral chance of. I've got a chance. No. All right, so the troll fails and is now down to 1 hate, which is not so good. Okay, so the troll swings at you with his club, but misses you completely because Valandil puts his shield in the way and gets all in its face and it can't hit him. Okay, now, at the start of a new round, you can choose to change your stance if you want. I'm going to assume no one's changing their stance at this point. Cool. In which case, we're back up to the top. And this time, Carnell, when he's almost down, buddy, you can take him. You can
I just have to spear him in the head. So I'll spear him in the knee. Psych.
Look at that. Not even close.
I don't.
Okay.
No, I missed it. I missed it.
Okay. All right. So you do indeed miss. In which case, it is Thrun's go again. Now, Thrun, you are getting a bonus die from your forward stance. I can see that that's happening, so don't add an additional bonus die because it looks like you're getting one. Yeah, up to you if you want to spend hope again. Okay, now I'm just confused because it didn't add the bonus die. I saw that. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, all right, but then last time...
It was a Sauron regardless.
It was a Sauron, and you did miss. Yes, that is correct. Yep. All right. In which case, we are back to the Dunedain. Are you doing your shield thing again?
Sorry, my mum just called. Nah, I'm going to attack.
Okay. So from defensive stance, you should be, when you go to attack, tell me if your bonus die is -1.
And how would I see that?
When you go to attack, so when you click on the weapon,
Windows up,
it should pop up, and right at the bottom of the box there's a whole bunch of D6s in a row.
Right. No, it is. I've got 3.
And there's no modifier. It's just on a 0. Like there's no pluses or minuses, right?
I can't see any. No.
No. Okay.
Mine
well,
definitely showed that it was highlighted in like.
But then it didn't apply it when you rolled because you only rolled a
Yeah.
feat die +2, which is exactly what
Yeah.
you would have rolled with your skills. So I don't know what's going on. All right. So just roll for me. So just click on the negative. Click on one negative die because you're actually down a die because you're fighting from defensive stance.
Doing a die is down a die.
Ah.
Oh, hold on. Okay, so this may be my lack of understanding. That whole line of dice,
Yeah.
right? It
Mhm.
has 3 dices with X's in it, then a 0, and then 3 dice. And it's highlighted 1 dice with the X on it. Is that what
Okay.
that means?
That's what it's meant to do. Yeah.
Okay, I was misreading it. Sorry.
Okay. All right. No, that's good. But that's good. So I'm cool.
So if I roll, yeah, so that's right.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I have 3 dots in that sword, and it's keen.
Yeah. And you hit.
Nice.
Probably because
That's a relief.
because trolls have got because you're strong. That's why. Because your target number's 14. Because you're
Yes.
goddamn Dunedain. All right, and yeah, because of that, you rolled the 8. I have to roll my. The troll is wounded, which means the troll is dead.
Nice.
Oh, you did a great job. Thanks.
All right. So yes, at the end of that, you, with your big freaking magical sword, because you've got a Numenorian sword, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, dragging that around, and
Yep.
you run said troll through, and he goes, "Eeeh," and then flops backwards, dying horribly, as you would like him to do. Unfortunately, the pony is not recoverable.
No, it's not. It doesn't
Hurled
look
pony,
great.
less good for pony.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's
Not
how
good
combat
eating.
works. Sorry, so I just wanted to run you guys through the combat that I wanted to run you through last fortnight, and I couldn't get it to work. So now I've gotten it to work. I feel better. So a couple of self-evident comments just for you guys to be aware of. Yeah, cool. I'll just remove all of you from the sheet so that we don't have that problem. There we go. Look how happy you are now. Okay. So combat can drag a bit in the One Ring, as you could imagine. So if you're doing 4 or 5 endurance points a hit with some of the lesser weapons and smaller folk, combat can drag a bit. It's really good to punch for wounding. Can't understate how good it is to get wounds on the table. Really tough monsters have really high resistance to being wounded. They'll actually roll lots of protection die, but it's still probably your best way in a lot of fights to get the fight to finish quick and for you guys not to take it in the neck. Something we didn't get to do because I just didn't hit you is you can choose to forego an action or accept that you're not going to act next round and halve the damage you take. So if you get hit with something really big like a troll's club and he actually slams you, you can go, I'm going to roll with the damage and halve the damage. You can only do that once per fight, but you can do that.
Yes,
just
that's
so
a
you're
bit
aware.
of a save.
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm just going to crunch around the thing and be hurled back. And when the guys in the other party were fighting trolls and a vampire, they found that quite useful.
Surprise, surprise.
They were in the mountains of Mirkwood, which is Monster Central, and did indeed encounter a proper vampire, which was not good because Tolkien vampires are bad. All right, so you have successfully killed the troll that was troubling Bree, and make your way back to town. There's some sadness. The Fernie brother obviously holds you responsible, Valandil, for not rescuing his pony because you're obviously the sort of person who can't be trusted, and thus will the enmity of the Fernies live on for
Continue
generations
unnecessarily.
until they finally betray Bree to the Dark Riders in 60 years' time.
I stabbed them.
It's all your
I
fault,
have an inkling
Valandil.
that this would help people.
This will help people in the future. But actually, what you do is you stab them, but then their young son sees their father killed and becomes even more convicted that you must die. Now, we won't really have enough time for this, but so then the only other bit of the game that we need to worry hugely about at this point is that'll all stop now. So the other thing about the One Ring is travel is a thing. It's a real thing. It's a very key part of the game. So as an example, it is roughly 110 miles, I think it is. I think the distance is 10. It's 10 to Tharbad. To travel there, you need a person who can guide you, which is your person with travel skill. And then you need a bunch of other roles filled in your little group. So in the adventuring, sorry, I've got all these things open, which I now need to close. In the adventuring band box, if you open it up, you'll see that you've all been sort of given a role, which is up for debate. But if you click on it, you should all be able to open it. So first of all, can you all open it? Yeah, good. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, so you've got Bilbo Baggins as your patron. You've got travel. You've got these 4 available members: Thrun, Adelbrand, Valandil, and Ewan. Now, based on skill is how you would normally do this. Travel is really important. So the person with the best travel, and it's a little bit, best is an interesting question. Oh, I've got a slightly lower TN, but I've got less skill. You've got a slightly high TN, but you've got better skill. I'm favored, you're not favored. Like, it becomes a bit of a complex thing, but if you've got a couple of points in travel, that might be a good start. Then you want someone who's got hunting skill in the hunting box. Then you want someone who's got explore skill in the explore box. And then you want someone who's got awareness skill in the awareness block. These are all independent roles, so you can't fill both. Everyone has to take a role. So even if you've got one person who's good at travel and good at awareness, don't care. You've got to pick a winner.
Yeah.
So
all right.
That disbursement does not have to stay. I don't even think it was me that, well, maybe it was me, but you should be able to just drag people in and out.
Right. So I've got basically advantage in awareness and hunting, and both on 2 dots. So what have other people got?
Travel is pretty clearly my best one. It's got 3 dots and advantage.
Yeah,
I've got 2 dots in hunting, but no advantage.
But do you have
awareness? 1 dot in hunting. I have 1 dot in travel. I'm basically not good at any of those things.
Do you have explore?
Is it? Hold on. No, 1 dot in explore. No, I am inquisitive, but I don't have the skills for it. Hunting, awareness. Hold on, awareness. No, Nix, you got that. Hey.
Well, I was going to say the point is I've got good awareness and good hunt.
I've only got 1 dot in awareness, so all these things I have 1 dot in. That makes that easy.
Well, you're going to be doing one of them, so I'd look at the one that you have the lowest TN on.
What's TN?
Lowest target.
So the number above your skills?
Oh, TN, I see. The lowest TN is 15 for heart and wits.
Okay, so that'll be explore.
Yeah, explore is probably the best one. Since you guys have everything else, I'll be explore.
And I think actually this is the disbursement then, because Adelbrand, you don't have awareness, do you?
I think I've only got 1 dot. Yeah, 1 dot.
Do you have any travel, Tom?
I have 1 dot in all the 4 skills, and none of them.
Just because I've got, to exactly your point, Thomas. So I've got 3 travel with advantage, but 17, or I've got 2 explore with advantage, but it's 15. So I could probably do either of those. I don't know which is better.
The most, I mean, it's kind of unfair to say this, but from we want to get to places as quickly as possible and suffer the least amount of impediment. Travel is by far the most important skill.
Travel is.
And if you don't have someone else who's got good travel, then that's you. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So just to sort of finish off what we're doing, and just conscious of time, but I think we can fit this in. So the way travel works is you decide where you're going. That turns into a number of areas. I've got the hex map broadly correct. So it's pretty close to the actual hex map that they use. It's not perfect, but I don't think it matters that much. So to get to Tharbad, we'll take from Bree. So you're going to travel down this bridge, the Breen Way, sorry, down to Tharbad. So give or take, if you stick to the road, it's 11 hexes. If you are willing to travel across the South Downs, which is not the Barrow Downs, so that's good. It's 10 hexes, so it's not really that much better. The road is safer, so you'll encounter less nasty things.
Presumably, the road will make it easier, and the hill will make it more difficult.
Correct. Yeah, you travel faster. So, on that note, the way journeys work is you've got 11 hexes to travel, and your travel guide is the first person to roll, and they roll to see how well they can get you there.
So I roll on travel.
You roll on travel.
And hit the button.
Okay, is that a great success?
It is a great success.
It certainly looks like a great success. Okay, so because you're traveling in spring, I mean councils, I need the journeys, which is before combat. Come on, you can do it. That's it. He says bravely. Okay. Journeys. They come after councils. Of course they do. All right, journey sequence. Set the journey path, which you've done. Then you take a marching test, which is what you've just done. So that's your travel. That means that for each, if the travel roll is a success, the event takes place 3 hexes plus 1 for each success. So 4 hexes in. So you are roughly 1, 2, 3, 4. You're roughly here. Now, cute thing is, what actually happens at this point, and I didn't do it because I'm sort of rushing through it a bit, is I'll create a folder called Journeys. So you actually record your adventure, this first adventure, through a thing called a journey log. And so normally what we do is we go spring 2965, create new, and then I'm going to add the company, then I'm going to add the company, then I'm going to add the company, yes! And you're all added, and then I can do an event. And it's just the wildlands, not the darklands. And that's a shortcut, which is good. It's actually very good. Okay, so on a shortcut, whoever gets this roll reduces the length of the journey by 1 whole day, which is good. So I need this to be a bit smaller because I can't fucking see what I'm doing.
Which is a hex? Is that?
Yeah. Shortcuts. What is the shortcut event that you get? All right. So, who's the hunter?
That would be me.
Okay, so Adelbrand, you're traveling through the mountain, along the road. You've hit a broken part of the road because the roads are all falling apart. But in the distance, you can see a group of deer have clearly found an easy way to cross this broken area.
Oh, it's cute.
And all you need to do to follow them is make a hunting roll, and you'll be able to shorten the travel time.
Cool.
Modifiers.
So you
Good
just
luck.
roll hunting.
Don't fuck it up.
I'll try not to.
I mean, so do
But
I,
I
but it
did.
doesn't seem to help.
But you did. So the good news is nothing bad happens. The bad news is nothing good happens. So that adds one travel fatigue to all of you.
Yep.
Which is not too bad. And then we roll again. So can I get another travel roll, please?
Well, travel, okay.
To see.
So when does awareness come in, or is that the event?
That's the event.
Right.
Where to go? Travel. Roll. Nice.
Nice. Success. So you travel for another 3 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Travel. 4. And then another 3. You're only 3 days out from Tharbad at this point. Oh, sorry, 4 days out from Tharbad. And I get to roll again. And this time it is a... Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. Why don't I just do it this way? Good question. That's what I wanted. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong bloody button. Yes. Wildlands again. Okay. Oh, it's a mishap. Ooh, excellent.
Mishap is bad.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
for some people.
For us, it's bad.
Okay, so. Oh, okay, so it's another hunting one. That's what happens.
A hunting
sometimes.
mishap is actually bad.
Yeah. So having failed to follow the deer successfully, Dave,
got
you
lost.
see more deer, but this time they're juicier and plumper and look delicious. All you need to do is bag a deer, and you'll have food
Excellent.
for the night, and it'll be delicious.
No.
What?
Do it.
No.
No.
So, with that in mind, mishap. Add a day to the length of the journey, and the target gains an additional fatigue. So that's the hunter. So you all gain 2 additional fatigue, and the hunter gets 3.
So where do we put the fatigue in?
Oh, I'm doing it for you. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Don't
Thanks,
worry.
buddy.
I got
Thanks,
you.
mate. Yeah,
I
that's
got
great.
you, buddy. I got you. Yeah. So now
So
the hunter is
where do I
feeling
mark
more
fatigue?
fatigued, but also you're now 5 days away because the hunter took you on a merry chase through the hills and the valleys, and unfortunately did not help you. All right, come on through, and you're doing it well, buddy. You're keeping the guys moving forward. This is it. This is the time when you roll the extraordinary success that you've been dreaming of rolling. Great success will do very nicely.
Nice. That gets us there, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. You're 1 day away, so I'm just going to roll one last event.
1 day away now.
And then you'll be there. So what event is it? It is... I think that's boring. We're not doing the hunter again. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to let the thing decide for me, actually. So I should say...
The hunting roll.
Let me just... it might... What is it? It's another mishap. I'm hoping for something other than a hunting mishap this time. It's an explore! Perfect!
Awesome.
Okay, all right. So as you come, you're only a day out, so you can actually smell the city and the river that flows through it.
Oh,
But this whole region used to be incredibly heavily populated with peoples, and all of the regions show the signs of the decay of kingdoms. So this was Arnor in the old days, before it fell. So with that in mind, you stumble across the fact that small bridges across streams have now broken completely, and you're going to have to sort of find your way through this marshy, wet terrain, else you
well,
will risk becoming bogged. So, can I get a explore roll from your explorer?
that would be me.
Oh God!
Right. Well,
Right.
now,
Okay. Yeah.
why do I feel this? No, there is hope in my heart, and I'm never going to have a problem because there's not knees, it's not hunting. I'm just going to roll very well and find all the things
The
we need.
Gandalf.
Well, no.
That's not
Okay,
exactly what I meant.
so the good news is you're only traveling a reasonably short distance. The bad news is that all of you have gotten significant fatigue.
Well, it's
And
of course it's all
Got
the
to start
mud that
using
you
our
have to
hope, guys.
you have to climb through the mud. That's just what happens.
so a comment on using
Don't
hope.
whinge.
So some cultures can use a lot of hope before they have to worry about not having enough hope. So the
But we're not
Bardling
one of them.
and the Bree are hope batteries, and particularly the Bree. You've got 17 hope, so you can burn it like it's.
Yeah, I think we'll get through this muddy part. It'll be fine.
So when you're coming up to rolls you want to get, it's probably worth spending the point to get the hope over the line. Particularly for the Dunedain, the big problem is that it's actually quite difficult to get rid of shadow, which is the thing that actually burns against hope. So it's not so much using up hope, it's more that it's very hard to get rid of shadow, and that starts to accumulate pretty fast for Dunedain.
Yeah.
Which starts to ruin your day pretty fast. Okay, so I would have done more exaggerated descriptions, but I just wanted to sort of once again just run you through the mechanics of this is how journeying works. So for each of the encounters, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 different encounter types you can have, and each of those basically has a little table that I've taken from the solo rules, actually, which are much better than the actual rules for giving you interesting things to do. So when we do travel normally, we'll spend more time on what do you mean there's been rough terrain? Like it'll be a bit more sort of this has happened, this has happened. Okay, so and the way fatigue works is it gets added to your load. So until you've rested, fatigue and load get added together, and that means you get weary very fast in combat, like stupidly fast. And or you get, if you're traveling really long distances, you start to say things like, I'm going to take my helmet off. I'm going to put my shield on my horse. I'm not going to carry any weapons. I'm just going to go for it because you don't want to be weary. Okay. So you guys crest the hill over Tharbad. So Tharbad is a city, as I described earlier. I think I can show you a map of said Tharbad. Might take a second to load. It's taking a second to load for me, so it's probably going to take a second to load for you. So I don't know if you can see it now, but basically this is what I was describing. So there's a northern and southern part, or east and west, sort of northwest, southwest, southeast story. You can see that what they've done is they've created effectively, or tried to create, a moat around the city by just channeling the river. But over time, over the thousands of years since this was all done deliberately, parts of the moat have filled in so the water doesn't go all the way around, so you can just travel across it. There is, however, only 2 major bridges coming into the city from the north and the south. Both of them appear to have guards on them, or you're coming in from this side, the northern side. So there's that. And this is that, and that island in the middle is sort of the, if you want to come through here, you need to cross that small island as well. How people cross the last bit of bridge will describe when you get there. And that's what you see. You see Tharbad in front of you. And when we start playing properly, as opposed to sort of doing the here's how the rules work, we'll get into the very interesting place that is Tharbad, its various peoples. The main thing is just to point out the map shows this really well, which I like a lot. As you can see, like the city's pretty heavily depopulated. And the buildings have been torn down. So there's really only that inner ring of buildings on the north side. There's a very dense pack of buildings on the island. The southern side seems more populated, but maybe not that much. It might just be that they've torn down less of it. So yeah, it looks sort of decrepit and old and burnt down. And I mean, the city was built with the aid of the dwarves, so the buildings last for a really long time. They're not falling over anytime soon. So people are actually pulling stones out. No, that's all right.
Clearly, we have to start in the ghost pit.
Clearly, you have to start in the ghost pit and see what's going on there. And also, the old library is where Agna is found. And I'll just... Is it this one? I think I put... Oh, maybe I haven't put it in. Okay, all right. No, don't worry about that. Let's not get busy.
Over here, I think.
Yeah.
There's the 13.
Stop those. Where was it? Sorry, I've got my... Do you want to do the flashy thing again?
Other side.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, there it is. Yep, thank you. Yes, that's where she might be located, down there in the southern tip. So the one person you know in town lives all the way on the other side of town. All right, cool. And that is how the One Ring runs. Hopefully next time
cool.
Looking forward to it.
Do
the next session.
Do how the One Ring plays. All right.